Good morning, everybody. My name is Clemente Quinones. I am currently a fourth-year civil engineering student here at Georgia Tech. I'm currently running for the SHPE Region 7 Student Representative, and I'm currently running against Luisa Gutierrez, for those of you who aren't aware already. I'm making this video today in order to speak to all of you, not just people who are going to be eligible to vote, but I want to be able to reach out to all of you, all the Region 7 members and upcoming members. The reason I'm putting this video together also is to present my agenda and platform for next year. I've already spoken to several of you and I've talked about my agenda with some of you already. However, I want to be able to reach out to those who I haven't had time to meet with or speak with. Before I present my agenda, I want to be able to address how my agenda came to be and the problems I'm addressing. To do that, I have to explain my experiences and my involvement in SHPE throughout my college career. I've been involved in SHPE since my freshman year of college. I started off at the Southern Poly chapter in Marietta, Georgia my freshman year and became secretary towards the end of my freshman year. After that, I transferred over to Georgia Tech, where I later became the secretary of the executive board for Georgia Tech here for that year. Then this current year, I've been serving as the Vice Regional Student Representative of Georgia and working with the Southern Poly chapter, Georgia Tech chapter, and have even started to make a SHPE chapter at the University of Georgia. And it's going along great, as some of you may know. Now, I've also attended over 6 to 7 different conferences in my entire time in SHPE. I've attended NILA, I've attended the national conference, and I've attended regional conferences all throughout the years I've been involved. And they've all been absolutely incredible. I mean, especially NILA. And for those who haven't done so already, please fill out the scholarship in order to go. You will not regret it. In fact, I would highly recommend it for those who are going to be on the executive board next year. It's something that I really do believe brings the region together, and not even just the region, the nation together, in order to help address issues going on a national scale. Now, to go on with my agenda, throughout all my experiences, as I just explained, one of the things some of the problems that I've seen and have talked to and consulted with all the candidates currently running for the rest of the national board positions, including the national president candidates, as well as our Region 7 vice president candidates, Jay Flores and Javier Asari. So the first issue that I spoke to about with all of them was the financial issue that I see in our region. When I bring up this issue, I'm talking about certain students and members. I want all of you to take a minute and think about how many students and friends that you know who are not only just full-time students, but also work part-time in order to help pay for tuition and also in order to help basically provide for themselves, and being a SHPE member or a leader. From the conversations I've had with some of you, you know a good bit. I do too. And in addition to those, I also know several people who are unfortunately not as financially blessed as some of us, and also are here just on scholarships. They don't have a lot of money of their own to work with, and therefore can't attend events like the national conference, regional conference, and even certain social events. And because of that, I talked with Javier, Jay, Barry, and Jose. Barry and Jose are the national presidential candidates, for those who aren't aware, along with Michael Gutierrez. I wasn't able to reach him in time, and I apologize for that. But at the same time, I spoke with them and I was coming up with feasible solutions to the ideas I had to make sure that they would work and could be implemented. And we have already put into place a list of financial resources and methods that help pay for conference that have been seen to work. And we are continually developing this list and resources in order to help out those students in financial need. I've spoken about this in detail with some of you. And one of the ideas is that for those of you who have interned or co-opted with certain companies, you're eligible to put together a proposal for sponsorship for yourself to go to conference. Along with that, Jose Rivera was talking about the idea of, if you have an academic Olympiad team, you could have your team sponsored by a company to go to the national conference. I myself have put together a proposal letter to send into my respective engineering department in order to help me finance a trip to a regional conference 2 years ago at ETLC in Orlando. It was absolutely incredible. And if that isn't enough, there's so many different professionals and undergraduates coming together to help put this list together, and I'm hoping that it turns out amazingly as it is already. The next big issue that we've realized that we need to address is the unification of this region. We realized this when we were last year, when we realized how little there was in collaboration between professional and undergraduate chapters. As in addition to that, we also realized just how much there's communication just between local chapters. I want to change that personally, and I want to start that by implementing what I call the SHPE Roundtable. This was an idea that was brought up last year by Laura Nieta during a leadership retreat in Georgia. At the end of the retreat, we sat everybody down, all the leaders and everybody attending, and went one by one addressing issues and concerns and problems that each of these chapters had and each of these leaders had, either with their local chapter or with the SHPE community. And we did not leave that retreat until all of them were discussed, addressed, and then a solution was either implemented or ideas were brought back to those chapters for them to try to solve and work out these issues. I want to bring that same mindset to Region 7, and I want to include the professionals, I want to include the graduate students. I want to try to create an online forum similar to the Facebook groups that we have right now, and to try and put and address all these problems and concerns the second they happen, especially with those chapters that are struggling, chapters that are new, chapters that are small and wanting to grow, or chapters that are trying to put together a new initiative and want feedback from a higher ups, from people that may have experienced it before. I really believe that this will be a great way to not only just address our region's problems, but it will also help us out in trying to address just our unification issue. It'll help us communicate better. It'll help us work together as a region by turning us into a consultation group, as opposed to us trying to solve all our problems solely as chapters on our own. Which brings me to my next point. The next big issue that we all see is a transition in leadership. This is a huge issue for those chapters that are new, struggling, a 2-year college chapter, or even smaller chapters. By using the SHPE Roundtable, we're hoping to try to address this issue by helping them, by addressing questions or problems that they may have in trying to get the next generation of leaders set and groomed and ready to take on the challenges that SHPE has for them. In addition to that, the next big initiative I want to take is SHPE Junior. It's amazing. It's huge. It's a huge factor that's in this entire campaign for everybody. Not just on the regional student representative elections, but also on the national elections as well. In fact, I really want to push this because this past weekend I had the incredibly blessed opportunity to host a Latin perspective student from Cedar Park, Texas. His name is Mario, and if he sees this, I hope he's watching this. But he is an incredible student. He's coming in with several AP credits. He's coming very bright, and I showed him around campus. I showed him the SHPE. I showed him the different Latin communities that we have and the opportunities that he has here. And at the end of it all, long story short, after I told him about my experiences, my leadership positions, and role in SHPE, he looked me in the eye and told me that he not only would be fully committed to coming to Georgia Tech, but that he would also be on the lookout to serve and as a leader in the Latin community, whether it's through SHPE or another organization. The amount of passion and work ethic that he had when he told me that gave me a glimpse at the potential that the future generations hold and the accomplishments that they are capable of. Imagine if we had hundreds of those kinds of students, because that's essentially what it is whenever we recruit in as a region the freshmen that come into our respective schools and chapters. Imagine the amount of work and accomplishments we can get done if we had those many students, if we started early on in high school by letting them know what SHPE is, what the benefits are, what the benefits of going into STEM are, and what kind of community and what college life is really like. That's one of the things that I want to try to ask and challenge the larger chapters and the strong chapters in our region to try to implement next year. Now, in addition to all of that, the next big thing that we saw, that me and several others saw, was just the level, the way that this tone and the attitude that we have as a region. We're probably the most warming, welcoming region in the country. That's without a question, and anybody can confirm that. However, this past year, we started going into more and more different competitions. And despite how they brought amazing results and numbers, they didn't unify us. They didn't bring us together. And in the end, they kind of set us apart because of the school spirit, the kind of selfish mindsets we had about our schools and our chapters alone. I want to change that by trying to bring us together again. I want to use the SHPE Roundtable to bring us together again and remind everyone of the true original purposes of SHPE. Jay Flores said it all the time, and so do all of us. SHPE changes lives. That's what we do with each of our prospective chapters. We each change lives by giving them opportunities from developing professionally, academically, socially, networking, opportunities to get a co-op, internship, a full-time job, and giving them new sets of skills that they can use to grow. That's beautiful, it's amazing, it's what SHPE is there for. However, it's the changing lives part that it handles. It doesn't handle the second goal of SHPE, the original purpose of it. The original purpose of it was to empower and change the image of Latinos in our local communities and in some cases even respective nations. There are international students that go to different university and systems all around the country in pursuit of a higher education and STEM degrees. And once they have that, they return to their home countries and they try to solve the issues that are troubling their respective nations. I want to bring that original goal back. I want us to be unified under that goal, under that idea. And finally, my own personal goal for next year is to become the region's, I want to take Region 7 and I want to make it the strongest region in this country. I want to lead by example what SHPE is, how amazing it is once we not just unified as a chapter, but as a region. The amount of potential and the problems that we can solve. I want to show that to everybody, and I need your help to do that. I need your votes. I need you to look at my agenda, look at Luis Gutierrez's agenda. I want you to look at both of us, decide which one you like more, which one you have confidence in to lead this region, and place your votes. Please. And in addition to all of that, please visit my Facebook campaign page. Ask questions. Put in your concerns. Put in comments. Look at the posts and questions people have asked. Get to know me. I want to get to know you guys and the next executive boards that are going to be helping run this region. It's because of you guys and the rest of the leaders in our region that we are as great as we are right now. And I want to take us to the next level. So please like this video, share this video, show this during your executive board meetings, your general meetings. I want people to know who I am. I want people to know what SHPE stands for and the vision I have for our region. So thank you for your time, and please, again, go to my Facebook page, like this video, share this video, and keep spreading the word about the vision I have, and hopefully you guys are sympathize with my goals and ideals for next year.